Sarah opens a dusty old box, revealing an intricately designed antique clock. She lifts the clock, examining its ornate details and noticing a strange symbol. A letter falls from inside the box, addressed to Sarah in her grandfather's handwriting. Sarah opens the letter, frowning as she reads about a family legacy. The clock chimes eerily, startling Sarah. She glances at the time. It's exactly midnight. The clock ticks louder, and Sarah feels a sudden chill in the room. She places the clock on a shelf, unsure of what to do next. The clock ticks ominously as Sarah leaves the room. The ticking stops abruptly as Sarah turns off the lights. The next day, Sarah returns to inspect the clock more closely. She finds a hidden compartment in the clock's base. Inside, she discovers an old key and a piece of a map. The map shows an unfamiliar location marked with an X. She realizes the key fits an old trunk she found in the attic years ago. She heads up to the attic to retrieve the trunk. She spots the trunk, covered in dust and cobwebs. Sarah uses the key to unlock the trunk. Inside, she finds more old maps and an envelope with her grandfather's initials. Sarah opens the envelope, revealing a note that says, "Find the Clockmaker's legacy." Sarah lays out the map fragments, realizing they lead to an old estate. She grabs her coat and heads out on a journey to find the estate. Sarah walks through a dense, misty forest, holding the map and glancing around warily. She arrives at an abandoned mansion, its windows boarded up. Sarah cautiously approaches the front door. The door creaks open on its own. She enters the dark, musty interior. The clock from her home starts ticking loudly in her bag. The ticking guides her to a hidden door in the wall. She finds a keyhole that matches the key she found earlier. Sarah inserts the key, and the door creaks open to reveal a dark staircase. She hesitates for a moment before stepping into the unknown. Slowly, Sarah descends the stairs, holding a small flashlight. The sound of her footsteps echoes through the silent underground passage. She reaches the bottom and finds herself in a long, narrow corridor. At the end of the corridor, a large iron door looms ahead. The ticking of the clock intensifies as Sarah approaches the door. She notices strange symbols etched into the door, matching the ones on the clock. With a deep breath, she pushes the door open. Inside, she finds a hidden chamber filled with old mechanical gears and tools. In the center of the chamber is a large mechanical device with a ticking clock face. Sarah walks around the machine, noticing a strange keyhole at its base. The clock in her bag ticks louder, urging her to use the key. She inserts the key into the machine's base and turns it slowly. The machine roars to life, gears turning and lights flickering on. A hidden compartment in the machine opens, revealing a small, locked box. Sarah picks up the box, noticing her family crest engraved on the lid. She tries to open the box, but it won't budge. Suddenly, the clock face on the machine begins to spin wildly. Sarah takes a step back as the entire room begins to shake. The shaking stops, and the machine suddenly powers down. Sarah cautiously approaches the machine again, staring at the spinning clock. The small box glows faintly in her hands. She notices a small latch hidden on the side of the box. Sarah flips the latch, and the box clicks open. Inside, she finds a locket and a letter. She opens the letter, which is from her grandfather, revealing the truth about her family. The letter explains that the clock is a key to an ancient treasure. Sarah realizes that the locket is the final piece to unlocking the treasure. Determined, she puts the locket around her neck. Sarah examines the locket closely, noticing tiny symbols similar to the clock's. The machine suddenly powers up again as Sarah stands near it. Sarah looks at the clock, now ticking in a slow, steady rhythm. The locket begins to glow in sync with the clock's ticking. She feels the urge to place the locket into the machine's keyhole. As she inserts the locket, the machine clicks and whirs to life once more. The walls of the chamber begin to shift, revealing a hidden vault. Sarah watches in awe as the vault door slowly opens. Inside the vault, she sees a treasure chest, untouched for centuries. Sarah cautiously approaches the chest, feeling a mix of fear and excitement. Sarah kneels down and carefully opens the treasure chest. Inside the chest, She finds a collection of golden artifacts and ancient documents. Sarah picks up a golden medallion, intricately designed with family symbols. She unrolls one of the scrolls, revealing a detailed map of her family's estate. The map points to more hidden chambers within the estate. Sarah realizes that this treasure is just the beginning. She lifts a small, ornate box from the chest, covered in ancient runes. The runes glow as she touches the box, and it clicks open. Inside, she finds a strange, crystal-like object. The crystal begins to pulse with light, syncing with the ticking of the clock. Sarah takes the crystal and places it into the machine. The machine roars to life, gears turning faster than before. Suddenly, the vault door slams shut behind her. The clock begins to spin rapidly, the hands moving backward. Sarah feels the ground shake beneath her feet. She looks around in panic, trying to find a way out. The machine abruptly stops, leaving the chamber in silence. A hidden door in the chamber wall slides open, revealing a passageway. Sarah steps through the passageway and finds herself in a familiar place. She realizes she's back in her family's home, in the Clockmaker's old workshop. The clock in the workshop ticks softly, as if nothing had happened. Sarah looks at the crystal in her hand, now dull and lifeless. She notices an old portrait of her grandfather hanging on the wall. Underneath the portrait, a small plaque reads, "The legacy lives on." Sarah smiles softly, realizing her grandfather had planned everything. She turns to leave the workshop, feeling the weight of the journey behind her. The clock in the workshop chimes once more as she closes the door. Sarah walks through her family's estate, feeling a connection to her past. She looks down at the map in her hand, planning her next move. Sarah looks down at the locket around her neck, realizing it has stopped glowing. She closes the locket and takes one last look at the map in her hand. The map no longer shows any secret markings, as if its purpose has been fulfilled. Sarah steps out of the mansion, feeling at peace with the answers she's found. Outside, she stands on the front steps and looks at the horizon, the weight of her family's mystery lifted. She turns back to the mansion one last time, knowing the secrets have been uncovered. The mansion stands quiet and still, the mystery finally laid to rest. Sarah walks down the path, ready to move forward with her life. As she walks away, a single bird flies overhead, a symbol of freedom.